let's be completely honest here. If you're a Konosuba fan, you probably have already watched the first episode of Konosuba Season 3 at this point that aired late yesterday. But if you're wondering why it's out so early, because anyone that is aware of it, it's supposed to be out a few days from now. And there's quite a few other anime that aired alongside of this that came out a lot earlier than they should have. And to kind of name a few here, we have, for instance, Konosuba, we have the, first episode of Slime, which is a recap, but still the first episode of the new Slime season, and God's Game. Now, obviously, God's Game is kind of like a... I haven't seen much of it, but from what I've heard is people are saying it's not that good. I'll watch it for myself to see, but quite a few anime obviously has leaked early. And the reason for that is Crunchyroll. And this statement was released earlier this morning, like late yesterday, basically saying that Crunchyroll had a leak, a vulnerability in their server, aka a data breach, that someone accessed and released these episodes a lot earlier. Now, let's be completely blunt. It's hilarious. It is kind of hilarious that someone was able to somehow breach a multi-million-dollar company that corners the market and straight up causes any individual company that is able to compete with them, they're ran out of business or consumed by Crunchyroll / Sony. Somehow that company got a vulnerability, exploited to release these episodes. And it's just like, wow. It's funny, but it also is just like, what's all this money going for? Like, it's just like, think about this for a second, okay? Crunchyroll, as I have made multiple videos on at this point, Crunchyroll, Funimation, Sony, and all that type of stuff, I've talked about how just their monopoly on the market is not good. It is a very toxic thing that is obviously just going to hurt consumers and anime fans in the long run. It will. And obviously, as I've talked about, it could cause a rise in piracy and all these different type of things. And seeing this vulnerability being attacked like this, it's just like, what are you putting your money towards? It's like, you now really don't have any competition. Like, your only competition is High Dive. Now, to be fair, and this is giving credit to Crunchyroll, which, technically this video is obviously kind of putting them down, but I will give credit where credit is due. Crunchyroll is now going to be competing with other companies. I mean, Warner Brothers obviously made a statement a few days back saying that they wanted to kind of start making 10 plus anime a year, or requesting 10 plus anime a year for their stuff. And then this is not including Disney and these other companies that are now wanting to dive into the anime pie, so to speak. So it's like, yeah, Crunchyroll is starting to have a little bit more competition slowly creeping up on them. But overall, at this point in time, at least right now, there is no competition yet. And they own the market pretty much. There's really no competing against them in the West at this very moment. And the fact that this is happening is just like, seriously, you have so much money, you have such a head start, make your platform just so desirable. Nobody wants to not be a subscriber of your platform. And I say this as a honest fan of anime and manga. I don't like crapping on Crunchyroll. I'm going to be completely blunt here. It'd be just much easier for me to talk about good. But the thing is that their service is very lackluster when it comes to just like how the video player is. It's very buggy sometimes. On top of that, the overall site's translations can, there's a lot of, drama around translations and the dub, etc. I'm not going to get into that one. But on top of that, sometimes the episode releases and there's not even translations on the episode for a good long while. Or there's just these random delays that happen that just don't make any sense. Or sometimes a slightly hyped episode, not even like a massively hyped episode, comes out and it crashes the site. And it's just like, it's clear that Crunchyroll has a lot of things to work out, and no site is going to be perfect, but it's like, holy crap, you've had all this time, now you have no competition. Improve. Make your system very desirable instead of not desirable. And just seeing something like this, it's like, this is why people pirate. It's like, if someone could literally hack into your server and expose a vulnerability, so to speak, obviously people are not going to watch it on your site. They're going to go out of their way to watch it illegally on other sites. I mean, let's be honest, anyone that has already watched Konosuba is going to watch the first episode early, then wait a few more days. Let's just be honest here. Let's not kid ourselves. So it's just like, it is absolutely laughable and sad that you had something like Konosuba, Slime, and God's Game, and all the other series that's potentially been leaked already, leaked early, and it just, stuff like this keeps happening. It's embarrassing. It's really, really embarrassing. But to be fair, you're owned by Sony, so makes sense why data breaches happen. But anyways, all that being said, though, if you have not seen Konosuba, though, first episode, pretty freaking good. Like, I'm not going to review it yet, but first episode is good. I really do like what I have seen from it. I do think that it retains the charm and love that, the previous seasons have had. On top of that, the stuff with, like, Slime, it's kind of unfortunate that Slime's first episode is a recap, but, a lot of anime do that nowadays, so it makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, Slime, just pretty much skip for now. That first episode came out because it's recap. It's Konosuba, go watch if you're a Konosuba fan, and God's Game, or whatever, what it's called here, God's Game, I haven't seen that one yet, so I can't really say if that's good or not, but from what I'm hearing, it's not so good. But I wanted to make a brief comment on this, that there was literally a data breach by Crunchyroll, and honestly, it does make me concerned a little bit, like, was there any information stolen? Because it's like, what, did private information get stolen? Like, Crunchyroll, are we at risk? It's kind of concerning. If someone could get into your security and grab confidential episodes days early or a week early, what else has been kind of exposed? It's kind of spooky. So, yeah, hopefully Crunchyroll, releases a statement and does investigation, because that is actually not good whatsoever if something was indeed stolen from the actual consumers and people that subscribe to the site. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. And with that, Chibi out.